82% of insurance carriers have a telematics program. 40% actually use the data in their operations. Think about that for a second. The technology works, the data exists, the carriers bought it, deployed it, stood on stage at conferences and announced it, and more than half of them aren't using what they paid for. This isn't a technology problem. The technology was solved years ago. This isn't a data problem. There's more driving data available today than at any point in history. And it's not an awareness problem. Every insurance executive I know concedes that telematics has cleared the technology hurdle. So what is it? It's what happens in the middle, between the model that proves the data has value and the organization that can't absorb it, between the technology demo that works and the workflow it has to survive in the real world, between the billion-dollar opportunity everybody sees and the 107% combined ratio that proves almost nobody has captured it. I've spent more than 20 years in that middle. I started at what was then the world's largest source of commercial fleet telematics data, and I took that data set from earning nothing to generating real revenue. Some of what we built became the traffic predictive analytics that today powers the real-time arrival estimates on your phone. Processing billions of miles of data on multiple continents, I've watched companies with brilliant models fail and companies with mediocre technology succeed. And I've learned that the gap between having data and getting value from it isn't technical, it's structural, it's human. And the people on the other side of the table who won't adopt your technology, sometimes they're right. I'm Kevin Henderson. This is Structural Signal. 80% of companies that try to monetize their data fail. Not because the data is bad, not because the technology doesn't work. They fail in the middle, in the gap between having data and getting value from it. This show lives in that gap. I call it the operating layer, the practical reality of what happens when models, technology, and capital meet actual organizations run by actual humans. It's the same gap whether you're in insurance, industrial robotics, precision agriculture, biotech, or smart city infrastructure. The same structural patterns kill the same kinds of companies and corporate initiatives across every one of those verticals. I draw most of my examples from insurance and telematics because that's the most mature IoT data market. I've spent more than 20 years there, and it's where I have many specific, honest stories. But if you're sitting on sensor data in any industry, from maritime shipping to connected health to manufacturing, and you can't figure out why the gold mine hasn't produced gold yet, this show is about your problem too. I published an analysis of why insurance telematics integrations fail in carrier management last year. It was named one of the top editors' picks of 2025. And I wrote a post on Substack at structuralsignal.com about why data monetization fails across the entire IoT landscape. Drawing on the same patterns I documented in insurance, applied to industrial IoT, smart cities, and agriculture. The patterns aren't academic. They're what I've lived over more than 2 decades. I've spent years working across the insurance industry and the broader Internet of Things, IoT, the connected devices and sensors generating data across every industry. I didn't just study why data monetization fails. I built programs that worked, and I've spent years figuring out why most don't. This show will bring on people who live in that gap. Companies that have worked to get insurance carriers to use their data. Executives trying to drive data-driven transformation from inside legacy organizations. Operators stuck between modern IoT technology and systems built in the 1970s. Companies sitting on manufacturing intelligence they haven't figured out how to sell. Deep tech companies who've learned what data monetization timelines actually look like across hard technology and biosciences. Corporate strategists, people rethinking how they evaluate IoT data companies. Anyone who's been in that room where the demo works perfectly and nothing happens for 18 months. Some episodes will be conversations, some will be solo analysis, like this one. The question that anchors everything is some version of what happened when your model hit a real organization. What happened when your technology met the person who's been doing this for 22 years and doesn't want your dashboard? What happened when your investment thesis met the actual timeline of the industry you're trying to transform? In insurance, that's the carrier. In manufacturing, that's the plant manager. In biotech, that's the regulatory pathway. The operating layer looks different in every industry, but the physics are the same.